We are continuing with the teachings of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj from the book I Am That. So now the discussion is happening between the questioner and Maharaj regarding the improvement of the world. And the questioner says that my universe is constantly improving. And if you examine where this question comes from, it comes from the ego's idea that it is the doer. So the ego asserts that, it is through my efforts that I'm doing this, I'm doing that, that the world is improving, it is changing, it is becoming better, and so on. And to which Maharaj replies, and now I will read his words. He says, your personal universe does not exist by itself. It is merely a limited and distorted view of the real. It is not the universe that needs improving, but your way of looking. You see, it is very common for us to think in this way because we feel that everything that is happening in the world, all the wars and the greed and, things of those nature. And we feel that somehow it should not be like that. It should be the other way around and things should improve. Now, it is not to say that, you should not do anything about it. If there is a certain cause that you identify with, you can definitely, express your opinions. Nothing stops you from expressing your opinions. But at the end of the day, it is just an opinion. So if you look at it carefully, the world that exists out there is not the real world. It is a projection of your own self into that world, of your own limited self. So the dysfunction that you see out there is the same dysfunction that is happening within us, within you. So if you have a lot of fear, for example, then you will see the world like that. Then you will see the world as a very horrible place where people are just, crushing each other, and there is no empathy, and there is no love, and there is no compassion. You will see the world that way. And there was a time when I used to see the world that way. But now it's very different. Now I don't see it either this way or that way. I see it the way it is. And this acceptance itself brings a lot of peace. Because the problem is that the ego mind is always identified with right and wrong. So everything is seen from that limited filter of right and wrong. And right and wrong, moral and immoral and all those things, they come from conditioning. And these things vary with time. What is considered immoral today may not have been immoral in the past. What is considered good or normal in the past may not be considered good today. So you see, this is just a part of the projected world. Our deep fears, insecurities, they find an expression in the projected world. So we see the world the way we want to see the world, not the way it is. So Maharaj here says that what needs to change is your perspective, your attitude, not the world. Now, a couple of years back, I was involved with the business industry, the startup ecosystem. And every time, I would hear every new startup from Silicon Valley or from, you know, India's Bangalore hub, they would say one standard line: let's make the world a better place. Every new technology comes up, let's make the world better, let's make the world much more this, much more that. Is the world really becoming better? If you look around, you see the world is exactly the way it is and the way it has been, and it is perfect the way it is. So, for a change, we could stop trying to make the world a better place. Let's leave the world the way it is. Maybe that may do some good. So, coming back to Maharaj, the questioner is still not convinced, and he says, but there must be some purpose behind all of this imperfection. So Maharaj says, and I will read his words: you have a purpose only as long as you are not complete. Till then, completeness, perfection is the purpose. But when you are complete in yourself, you fully when you are complete in yourself, fully integrated within and without, then you enjoy the universe. You do not labor at it. To the disintegrated, you may seem to be working hard, but that is their illusion. Sportsmen seem to make tremendous efforts, yet their sole motive is to play and display. So, when you understand your true nature, which is the wholeness and not separation from the wholeness, then this anxiety to achieve, to attain, to become, to improve, all of this begins to subside. Even the desire to attain enlightenment dissolves, because then you are complete. So you cannot add anything to that which is whole, which is complete. You cannot even take away anything from it. So completion means things the way they are, which includes all the perfections and imperfections of the world. And the God's beauty includes both. It includes both the perfection and the imperfection of the world. So, love, compassion, empathy, wars, everything is a part of that perfection. It is only the mind which segregates, which bifurcates between good and bad. It is the one which creates a dichotomy. And then the mind clings to one side and tries to fight the other side. You see, I belong to this party, my beliefs are this, therefore I must fight the other one. And that is how the duality continues. So, in that endeavor, Maharaj says, God does not aim at beauty. Whatever he does is beautiful. Would you say that a flower is trying to be beautiful? It is beautiful by its very nature. Similarly, God is perfection itself, not an effort at perfection. So, the flower is inherently radiant. It is not trying to do anything to become the way it is. The flower does not know your concept of beauty, fragrance, radiance. That is the attributes which are given to that object by God. And even within you, your being is the place of bliss, of beauty. So, recognition of your own beauty, of your own being, brings about a recognition of the same being in the others. And then there is a great transformation in relationships. Then my mind is not at war with anything, but my mind is peaceful the way it is. Otherwise, what is happening? We are constantly giving ourselves purpose, ideas, and we are constantly thinking and thinking ways to improve the world, ways to improve myself, to become this, to become that. And all that effort actually takes us away from the peace which is in this very moment. The peace which is your very nature. It is available to you right here, right now. You don't even have to close your eyes and sit in meditation. It is just right here. And let me clarify one thing. What does Maharaj mean by God here? So, God here is not a separate entity in manifestation, an all powerful entity that is keeping a tab on its creation and announcing judgments up from the high heaven. That is a personal idea of God which is created by human thought. Maharaj's God is here and now. It is this very consciousness which is animating this whole experience. Therefore, Maharaj says that the God is in the objectivity. And the objectivity is the God. They are not separate. So you see, this whole problem is of effort. Because even when it comes to enlightenment, what we are projecting is our own idea of God attainment or enlightenment. That maybe I will do this, I will do that. Maybe if I will sit for 10 hours in meditation, then maybe I will achieve enlightenment, some state, blissful state, which will make me different from others. So the ego is only interested in perpetuating this separation. While the ego claims that it wants to be free of suffering, every movement of the ego mind is a direction towards strengthening itself. So when you are still, when you are complete, in that sense that when there is no movement of any thought, then there is no you. Then all there is God, the consciousness, the pure potential, pure awareness. And Maharaj says, and this is beautiful, he says, whatever is perceived blissfully is beautiful. Bliss is the essence of beauty. Now, the word bliss does not mean that there is some kind of an excitement or, some kind of a very relaxing feeling. The bliss here is a very natural state, a state of equanimity with what is, not what should or should not be. The problem with the ego mind is that it distorts the perception and it wants to see things the way it wants, the way it is conditioned to. And then from that consciousness only, it wants to find a solution to those problems. But those problems are all illusory. there is no solution to the ego problems. And that is why Buddha said that don't worry about the world. Don't try to fix things for others. First, fix yourself. Worry about yourself. Just light your own lamp. When you glow, your radiance will reach other people. And they will know how to light their own lamps. And then there will be light. Telling people what to do to become better, how to do, it doesn't generally end well, because people don't like to take such instructions. On the contrary, when they are told not to do something, then they are eager to do it more. So your true nature is Sat Chit Ananda, being, consciousness, bliss. The being is eternal, complete. It is consciousness, and consciousness is bliss, your most natural state. So I guess we will end for now, and I will see you again later.